Hello there, Eddie here. You won't believe this, I had another go last night. Dressed as Elvis, tipping the beans over my head, and it didn't work. I don't know whether I forgot to press the... Anyway, never mind about that. Reason I'm on now is about Starbucks and coffee. Now, you may have seen my frothy coffee. What's it? You may have not. But I'm now giving you a different method, which is much better. And it can be done either as a latte, or a mocha, or whatever you like. I'm now going to get... This is a cup of water, half-inch from the top, or a mug of water. You get you do a mixture of coffee white, sweetener, sugar, and coffee powder. You can do it with granules, but I found coffee powder best because they're then all types of powders. And mix them together, shake them up. And I'll suggest 25% of each to start with, and then alter it to your own taste. If you want a latte, make it with milk and water instead of all water, or add an extra teaspoon of coffee white. If it's too strong, add 20% coffee instead of 25% coffee, and you will find that it'll make a cup of coffee as good as you get in Starbucks for less than 50p. I don't know how much less because I haven't bothered to work it out, but it's ridiculous. Now, here's my mixture that I've mixed up. Now, it's mixed to my liking. If you're diabetic, use an unrefined sugar or all sweetener. I've used 50% sweetener and 50% unrefined caster sugar. But all you do, I'm afraid these webcams on What's-its are not very brilliant. 2 or 3 teaspoons, depending how you like it, and float them on top of the water. Don't stir, let it float on top of the water. Now, and spread it over the top so that the whole of the water is covered. Now, if you put the spoon in now, it will take less time in the microwave, but you don't have to put the spoon in. I think people have been afraid of doing that but I'll do it without the spoon, right? Now, depending on your microwave, I've just changed microwaves. I had a 650 and I had a bit of a shock because I didn't realise it was a 8/900. Now, I don't know what you've got, but on mine you can reduce the power rating. And I take it down to 80 or 90 instead of 100%. And then put this in the microwave for 2 minutes. Right, I'll carry on chatting to you while that's working to hear the ping. And when it's done, I'll try and show you as best I can what it comes out like. As I say, if you put a spoon in, it'll take about 10 seconds less than without the spoon. That's entirely up to you. I think people thought I were having them on by saying put the spoon in, but It's entirely up to you what you do, but that's the reason with a spoon. I did explain previously that what you must never do is put any saucers or cups with gold trim. You know, the fancy expensive cups that have like a gold trim around the top and around the edge. Because if you do that, well, if you like a fireworks display, do it. And if you want an even bigger fireworks display, put some wire wool in. Anyway, that's it. And I'm just waiting for this to ping. I'm just thinking what else I can tell you. I do this. I'm still going to try and do this Elvis tipping a tin of beans over my head for comic relief on Friday. Let's hope it's third time lucky. Because last night I tried to do it and copy it. I even tried copying it on the what's it, and I think I must have forgot to press start record. So what I shall do this time is not stop in between bits, because I came out as Elvis and then changed, and then so this time I'll come out as Elvis, tell you what I'm going to do, and then do it straight away, so that I know before I start. It's not that bad actually to clean up the mess. I put a great big towel across the floor, and the beans all land on that, and the rest land on me, and I go straight into the shower with the Elvis costume still on, and it cleans it. It's already dry and clean, ready to try again. Now I'm trying to switch stuff around here, so you can probably see there's another screen behind me here. The problem I've got is linking the computer to the projector when it's got to be the opposite sides of the room. There's no way around it unless you have two screens. So that's about it. I think that ping went then, didn't it? Let's go and see. I'll show you this wonderful coffee. The only problem is you won't be able to drink it instantly because it'll be very hot. Unless you've got a very strong mouth. Me, you haven't. And if you forget it like I do, pop it in and reheat it, and it's just as good. Now, I'm going to try and get you to see what this has come out like. See, it comes out like that. Now, you don't stir it. Now, if you want a mocha, that is even easier. You simply get any kind of chocolate you like, and do this back again. You simply get any old chocolate you like. I'm not going to advertise, it doesn't matter, and just break off a little piece. You don't need much. Cheese grater has a large cheese grate and a fine cheese grate. If you grate on the fine one, like this, it only takes a little bit. You can beat the rest, can't you? Mind you don't injure your fingers. You can put as much chocolate as you want on it, that's up to you. So there you got it. You can drink it as it is, I have a mouth condition that's close my immune system, and I can't drink terribly hot stuff. I dare say this would be cool enough for most people to be able to drink now. Now you can stir if you want. Generally speaking, the microwave vibrates and oscillates the molecules so much in water that it's even better than the way they make it in a Starbucks shop. Anyway, I'm going to try this now. Yeah, it's still a little bit hot for me, but I suggest you try this. You'll love it. And as I say, I think if you want a latte, make it with milk. You can make it with all milk if you want. If you're diabetic, you can leave the sugar out altogether and just use more sweetener. If you're lactose intolerant, don't put any milk in, just put coffee white in, so that if you want a latte, add an extra spoonful to coffee white before you put it in the microwave. And I think that's about it. And if you can't make a bloody good cup of coffee now, then you're not as clever as I am. I'm telling you, it is great. Anyway, it takes a little time for me before I can drink it, but this is a mocha. Now you try it, and you may say, oh, it's not sweet enough. So the next time, you will have your jar that you've mixed it up in, right? If it's not sweet enough, add a bit more sweetener or a little bit more sugar. And if it's not strong enough, add a little bit more coffee powder to your jar that you've mixed it in. You know, add it to that, and then shake it up. And then the next time you come around, it should be to your own taste. But there's no way I can describe it other than that, because other people, everybody has lots of different kinds of coffee. But as I say, I can't drink it with all milk because I'm lactose intolerant, and I'm type 2 diabetic, so I can only take a small amount of brown unrefined sugar. But this, the way I've told you now, makes it that the percentage of sugar is extremely low, something like 5%, compared to what you'll find in some of these coffee shops that you go to. You'll find it's more like 30%. Because the sweeter the thing is, the better it tastes. Unfortunately, to us. But too much is not good for you of anything, and too little of anything is also bad. And I think you'll find one day in the near future, you'll find that the medical professionals start agreeing with me. Oh, well, it's really not sweet enough, but I daren't risk putting in more sugar. It's just that when you add chocolate, it tends to make it less sweet. If you don't add the chocolate, it's not so sweet. You can add either kind of chocolate. You can add white chocolate, black chocolate, you know, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, any kind of chocolate you like. You can even get this here chocolate powder and put that on it if you want. But if you use that, I should put it on before you put it in the microwave. And enjoy your cup of coffee, and get back to me and say, Eddie, ain't you clever? That's a lovely cup of coffee you've described. And don't forget, Friday, it'll be third time lucky, I hope, with the tin of beans. This cost me a fortune, this over there. It's a good job they're only 30p a tin, isn't it? If I was using one of these expensive branded ones, I'd be broke by now. I don't know why it didn't come out the first time. The trouble is, you see, All my stuff, believe it or not, hang on, see a bit more of me. All of my stuff are selfies. Even 7 years ago, a selfie is a person who's operating the camera on himself. Isn't that correct? So then all my demonstrations, my cookery demonstrations and selfies, you can see they are. I have to keep stopping to move the camera so you can see them, just as I've had today. I have no lighting engineer, no cameraman, no nothing. And I have struck up a bit of a friendship with my new landlord. He wants to learn to play the guitar. And I'll be delighted to teach him for free, because then, with my drum unit, and him playing rhythm, and me doing lead, we can expand a lot more things. If I can remember them. I used to do all the big movie films, like The Big Country and what's that one? Da 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 dee 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 dee. Anyway, I'll if I can't remember them, I'll soon work them out. Once I've heard them again, I'll know how to do it. So I'll just click on. I used to do the Virginian and Bonanza, my own versions, you see. Yeah, it's nice chocolate, isn't it? Shouldn't have had all that. Fortunately, I'm not terribly diabetic. I take a tablet that helps my immune system to produce more insulin. I think insulin is used by the body to convert sugar into glucose, which you then use as fuel. All I know is the prednisolone dampens my immune system and stops it from attacking my body. And it attacks everywhere, believe you and me, inside and out. It's a funny thing, when I got an injury of some sort, it's then got something to do, and it leaves the other things alone. Or if I catch a cold or a flu or something, the only trouble is it only lasts a couple of days, where other sods last a fortnight. This is why I said that on a previous program about the immune system, that 50% of the problems today are either caused by one or the other, either too strong or too weak. Too weak, you get cancer and AIDS. Too strong, you get all sorts of skin problems. Now things like eczema and all that, and psoriasis and all that, itchy skin, well, what I've got, as the fancy name, lichen planus, which is Latin for plain lichen or whatever, plain fungi. But they didn't really know what it was. But I've had it since I was 1957 or 8, so I know more about it than anybody else in the country. And I'll have another sip. So when I'm on this prednisolone, I can do things. When I'm not, I can't walk more than a few feet. When I'm on it, you wouldn't recognise me as the same person. Only I've just had a falling out with the doctors, because my old doctor of 40 years retired. And now all the new doctors, is all my conditions, they think it's cancer. Now I've had God knows how many tests, inside the mouth for cancer, on the penis, stomach, I've been scanned, and all it says on the results is scar tissue. Well, scar tissue is what you get when you heal. And when I take prednisolone, all this comes off and my skin comes up lovely like a baby's. It's probably why I look so young. I mean, let's face it, you don't see many people of 77 that look like me, do you? By the way, did you see the photos I put up showing me when I was 21 in Seattle, Washington, USA? I looked at that myself and I said, my God, you don't have to look like a young Elvis. Oh well, I must be, these doctors that going on at me now, if I'm a right row with them, I'm changing doctors. Why, the nice young lady doctor the other week, and she listened to me, and you know what she said? What do you want me to do? I said, well, courses of prednisolone, 4 a day for a month, and then reducing it by 1 milligram a day until I'm off it. And I said, I'll check to see at what stage the condition comes back. The funny thing is, it doesn't always come back to the same place as it was. I know that sounds daft. If I got stomach problems and I take it, the stomach gets better and then it'll come out somewhere. At the moment, I've got horrible ones right on the bottom where you sit, and it's most uncomfortable. But the worst of all for me is the ones that I get right down my spine, because I can't scratch them. And the only way to stop this itching is to completely scratch it off, because then the immune system goes back to the beginning of healing from the start. But it only lasts until it gets back to where it was. But I'm going on a bit here. How has anybody tried my sky in any room? Well, I've got here, I bet you've never seen a TV like that before. The only thing you can get on it these days are the RF outputs from set-top boxes, if they've got an RF output. If they haven't, you have to use a video recorder, which does have a RF output. Now, this is affordable, and if you plug, you sometimes get a picture on it without any connections whatsoever, because it picks up the radiation from the box. But if you want it better, oh, by the way, it also works in a car. It's got a lighter socket on it. Works on 12 volts, you see. And because all you people are missing out on this wonderful information, because you've probably switched off by now. That's why I always tell you to carry on to the end, because you never know what's going to come out. And I spent up till 4 o'clock this morning, I was on a Nikon stereo video recorder, which I've virtually rebuilt from bloody scratch. The mechanics of it wasn't working properly, see, and cleaned the heads and whatnot. And I've just discovered a tape with some very early Elvis, because I used to record myself all the time. I don't know if you've seen any of my stuff, but I only had 3 months to get from going to do this Elvis act to actually doing it. October was the first I knew I was going to do it, and it was for Christmas Eve. And I made all these, everything I did, I started off using karaoke to learn the words. Then I recorded these, and I also used to have them on tape, so when I was driving I could listen to them and get the words and the timing, because the timing is the most important part about it. Now, some of the videos people say it's fake. Well, what I did to try and get better quality sound, I have a full logic cassette recorder, you know, one of those little 8mm cassettes, and it records surround sound and I recorded the sound on that, the song, singing it on there, and record the picture on the camera, and then I put the camera on, and I supposed to lip sync to the cassette. Only me, I just can't stop singing. I start off lip syncing, and I suddenly realise I'm singing. And even if I switch the mic off, it still gets picked up by the camera mic or the webcam mic. Oh well, that's the last of my coffee gone. Don't know how long I've been on, but I don't know if you've seen my Elvis's Secret Hideaway for the last 30 years, which I explained was just a joke for my friends, because even when I was in my 20s and playing in a lead guitar in a pop group, basically I didn't sing. All I did was play lead guitar and vocal backings, you know, like bum ba bum ba bum dang 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 ding dong ding dong ding blue blue, because I was basically a bass singer, or bop you up and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, you know that. And anybody knows rock and roll, and there was a lot of that in a lot of numbers. And we had another person do the singing. And also, the rhythm guitar and I would do a number, and I would do the rhythm for him sometimes, and he would do the rhythm for me. So we both shared the limelight, sort of thing. And some he was better, some he did better than me, and some I did better than him, and we worked it out, you know, which was best. But I explained to you, I've been trying to contact people. There must be people. Trouble is, there's nobody my age who knows how to work a computer or go online. I don't think, because I think I must be the oldest website runner in the country, and I surely 77 this year. Anyway, I've never been able to contact anybody. People that were with me on ships, I expect the majority would be dead. But there must be some still alive. I got Auntie's 96, I think. Mum lived to be 92, so got a lot to look forward to, haven't I? But me, I have a stronger immune system than anybody in the family, because my sister's a little bit like it. She can't take penicillin, antibiotics of any kind. It's simply the immune system rejecting them, because it doesn't need them, I suppose. But with my immune system, antibiotics works wonders. And I don't know if you know, but if you've seen it, but I explained that it's not antibiotics that are getting worse and weaker. It's the immune system. When you're given antibiotics, they don't cure the disease. All they do is assist your immune system to destroy the bacterium. But if you've got a poor immune system, or next to no immune system at all, you're in trouble, because no amount of antibiotics will be any good. And this here idea that they're saying that, oh, they've mutated. Even if I've had viruses that I've had before that have come back different, and the only difference is it takes just a day longer to get rid of them. Because the immune system recognises that it's changed. If you've got a decent immune system, and the same thing applies to bacteria. And all I'm trying to do is to get these scientists that are working on all these cures, are not. They're working on the symptoms, curing the symptoms. But it's not the symptoms we want to cure, it's the cause. And I don't know whether there is a system whereby they can tell whether your immune system is strong or weak or medium or what. But all I know is, when I asked my doctor, all he would say was, your immune system is erratic. not a very smart answer, really, is it? Now, I've been told that my blood sugar is high, and when I had the fall the other day, paramedics came out, and they took a blood sugar reading, you know, just prick the finger, and they said, oh, it's a little high, he said, but that's to be expected because, you know, what's happened. He said it's 105. I thought, 105? They're telling me that 70's high. So what's going on here? It may be that by having a diabetic on your books, you get more money from the government. I don't know. I'm not saying anything like that, but if that's the case, well, good luck to them as long as this government's in. But they'll be in trouble with me if they do when Labour gets back in May. By the way, vote Labour in May, and maybe things will get better like they got better last time. And people who run down Tony Blair may have done things that were sort of against the Labour but they were the only way to get elected, because if he hadn't have done that, there'd have been a Conservative government right the way through till now. And then well, God knows what would have happened. Anyway, I don't know how long I've been on. Oh yes, I do. 31 minutes or something. Please watch all these things to the end. I mean, you can stop, pause, skip, go back to it, do whatever you like. But I'll tell you, if you don't watch everything to the end, you might miss something. And I should have told you this right at the beginning, but I forgot. Another thing is we've been having awful trouble with computers around here. I don't know if you've had any trouble with your computer, niggling little things. Well, and then you get a phone call from somebody in it with a Asian accent saying, we are from Windows Microsoft, and we come to fix your computer. Could I speak to am I speaking to Edward Smith? And I said, yes, this is Edward Smith, the computer engineer. Immediately they hang up the phone. Or say, yes, this is the computer administrator. Either of those, and they'll hang up immediately. Take my word for it, because it's a scam. And anything you got on the if you see these things on the computer, you'll have a Microsoft thing on your computer that's completely free, and it will scan it, and they say no problems, and then you'll get that one of these here, simply what's it come up on the screen, free, analyze it free, and then they say there's 4,000 faults on this, there's 200 faults on your breakup, and all this nonsense. Your registry's out, and you can do all this yourself by going into your own computer control. You go into control panel and click on the but the point is, they're lying. There's not all these faults there, but there might be after you've clicked on exit and got rid of them, because if you let them clean, they'll offer to do only 2 for free, they say. But I think that when they do those 2, they're not doing them, they're putting something else on. So watch out for these scams, and never click your credit card, because I got called out the other day. It was about something that I got that was alright, and it said extend 2 years and for $9.99, which translates to about £6.50, something like that. And I'll click on that. I mean, if it doesn't work, it's only £6, it's nothing. Then I found out it was actually doing nothing at all. It was extending the guarantee, which was already out. But the thing about the guarantee, you know, these 12 months guaranteed, that doesn't mean that you can't take a thing back after the 12 months, even 3 years afterwards. If you discover something that it's supposed to do and doesn't do, that means it's not fit for purpose, and you can take it back actually to the retailer and demand your money back at that stage. Now, I've been sorting out stuff on mine here. I had CP World came out to set up my my Samsung, which I bought off them for about 800 quid, because I had to pay extra for glasses, extra for a Samsung Wi-Fi, and I'm thinking of calling them out again and then not paying them. And I've discovered a load of stuff myself here now that oh, you can't pause on a program, and yet if you use a flash drive, put that in it, you know, that's recorded on something else, another computer, you can rewind, start, pause and whatnot. And I looked up the bloody well memory's 2 gig on the TV. 2 gig is enough to run most bloody little things like that. Because I know that because it said there's something like 1.7 gig left on your memory. And I wanted to connect the computer straight up to. The only thing I don't like about the smart TV is the remote control, because the way it's designed, when you press OK or select, which is the same, means the same thing, they got the shift button so close that you wind up shifting before you press select, and you get something totally different to what you want. Another thing is all these so-called instant things. You're moving around, all of a sudden it starts picture going all over the place. If you know what, all I want to do is to be able to scroll with my finger. Are they too lazy to do that? Now you can have a slow scroll, watch it going up, and then you press okay. But I want to be able to do everything myself. It's bloody boring enough now with nothing to do. Anyway, I've now been on air 36 minutes. Oh, we're going well. Oh, and there was one other thing. If any of you have tried my Skynet in the other room, whereby you split the aerial, and you can do that with any set-top box, rather than all you're actually doing, if you rig it up so your aerial runs through in a chain, right? You got your Freeview, you got your FreeSat, you got your Sky, and you put the aerial into one, and then the output from that into the aerial sucker to the other, and then the output from that into the aerial to the other sucker, and then to your TV set. Everything will then work on the TV set, and whichever room you want it. Because some houses you have already wired up with aerial sockets, and if you build it into that, every room's automatic. You don't no wiring much to do at all. And I mentioned that there's a device called a pyramid, which you can you have a transmitter and a receiver, and you have the receiver in the room pointing at the equipment, and you have the transmitter in the other room that you want to you know, control it from, because when you're watching something in another room with all the equipment, you still want to be able to change channels. Well, this pyramid, I've just looked it up on eBay, and what was it now? Ridiculous. I think 24 quid, I think, which is less than I paid for mine. And I don't think you can buy separate receivers, but all you need to do, it just plugs into a main socket, you see. So you permanently plug the one into the into the room where you got all your equipment. Oh, little tip about stacking equipment. If you've got any old what they call mouse mats, cut them up into little squares and place them under the feet of the equipment between each one, and you will have less problems because of overheating. That's just come to my mind, you see. Now I'm going to have to put that up somewhere else because there's bound to be loads don't get that. But if anybody sees anything on my program, pass it on. I probably will mention it somewhere else. But anyway, these pyramids, I got one handy here, I showed you. They look like a pyramid, and they're very simple to use. They've got receiver written on one and transmitter written on the other. Receiver fixed up in the room where the equipment is, and I can even work the equipment from my garden shed with this pyramid, and just click on eBay and put in pyramid, and you'll see it pop up. By the way, I don't know what I've done, but there was something. Oh, there was something for sale for £1.99, £1.99, and I thought, oh, I'll clock it in for £3, and it came up 300. I'm hoping to God that doesn't mean I got to pay £300 for it. I hope it backs down to the next lowest bid or whatever it is, because I tried bidding on it again, and it said, I tried changing it, you see, and it said you must bid over £300. I know I've got a 8mm projector which I bought that way, and I put down 50 quid because I'd already bought one for 90 that was rubbish in a shop. And I put down 50 quid, and I got about 31 or something. So it must be the next lowest bid or whatever it is. I hope it is. Anyway, I won't pay for 300 for it anyway. I'll stop it because it's only a tape. It's a tape of Creator Studio, which I've already got, but the one I've got is not a proper CD. It's one downloaded, and they didn't seem to like it. So I got a lot of trouble with passwords and whatnot. I think half the time it's because of the arthritis. I'm pressing more than one button, and the code is not going in as it should be. But I've now discovered, I got around that you can have it so it shows the password until you've finished it, and then you hide it afterwards. But going on a bit here, and I think I've given you enough to be getting on with today anyway. But I'm just going to now trying to get things sorted out. I've just discovered some new tapes here, and with this video recorder now that I've cleaned it up. Actually, you won't believe this, it was in my shed, and it's leaking, and all rainwater came in, and everything was soaking wet in there, and I brought it out, and it's clean as a pin now. Virtually all I had to do was re-lubricate all the gears and whatnot on it, which you need to be a mechanic, not an electronic engineer, you see, and that's where I had a big advantage in the past, because when videos came out, these engineers ain't got a clue with the gears, and you know, and because I'd done mechanics, I had. I don't know, but when I worked in Plymouth, people from other places, other shops would phone up and ask me, my boss, if they'd bring a set out, and I would help them out with it. But I don't think he charged him anything, because he was a proper softy like me. I'm wondering if he's still alive. I phoned him a couple of years ago. He said he was 87 or something then. I think I might give him, I rang him one Christmas 2 years ago. I've still got his number. I might give it a ring. I expected his wife to answer. I expected him to have already been gone, and I expected his wife, who was younger. And he said, no, sorry, she died. He's called Glyn. I said, we always go to Mr. and Mrs. P. The first week I was there, he said, I'm sorry about this. He said, I haven't had an engineer for 6 weeks and there's all this here. Oh, 6 months, he said. He said, do what you can, get as much as you can out of it. You can take parts out of one and use them in the other. And there was 3 of these little Perdio TVs. They were little, very similar to this, only smaller, black and white, that worked off batteries. Or mains, with an adapter, but on batteries. And you could take them out to the seaside, watch them under a towel sort of thing. And I got 2 of them working, stripping the two down, and I said to him afterwards, I said, is it alright if I ever go at the 3rd one for myself? Oh yeah, he said, yeah, if you can get the other one going, you can have it. I said, okay. And I got it going. It was a really hatched up what's it, because most of the stuff had gone into the other sets. But I got it going. I had a big car. And I mean, this is, I'm going back now, it's 1960, something like that, when the very first transit thing. But this one here, it's got VHF, UHF, all analog. It's got AM radio, FM radio. You can still get the radio on it, you see. So you can put it in the car, plug it in the cigarette lighter. But the only picture you can get on it now is by connecting it to a set-top box. But it's got audio and video inputs, which you can take from a device, and it's got an aerial. Now, a little secret: if you've got a aerial booster, right, and if you connect that up to a set-top aerial, you know, the little set-top aerials, what some people still use in their TV, for their TVs, and you plug that into the RF output, that aerial then becomes a transmitted aerial. And in the house, this little TV will pick that up anywhere. And you don't have any wires to it, apart from the fact that this one doesn't take batteries. I don't know why. Usually they were designed, I don't think it takes batteries, but it'll work off a 12-volt adapter. So if you've got any piece of equipment, you know, one of these great big plugs on, that's the adapter, and if it says 12 volts output, all you got to do is check to see, yeah, positive inner and negative outer, which is the general case. And it doesn't matter if you get the wrong one in, because it's protected. If you put the negative and the positive the wrong way around on these things, it won't damage it, because it just won't be allowed through. So if it doesn't work, you know when you got the polarity the wrong way around. But most 12 volt adapters are, that's 12 volts DC, by the way, not AC. And a little thing like that, I'm going to put it on later on this afternoon to see if it's still working. But I put £1 on it that it will. But it's got FM radio. Be interested to see what stations it gets. It's got long, medium. As I say, it predates the 70s. I've got a portable TV out in the shed, and things like this have been turning up on these antique programs. I saw stuff there that I've been repairing 40 years ago. I've yet to see one of these little Perdio radios come up on it. But I'm sure if these people knew that if they could get it to me, I could repair them if they got faults on them. Because most people today wouldn't be able to repair them. And I have it on quite a lot the day and night. Don't worry about it. Just pause and or make a note where on the slider you are, and next time you come back, you move to that point, you don't have to watch it all back again. And if you miss something, you can go back to it, can you? And that's about it. Just one other thing. Do all you can to help Ed. Because I'm Ed. There's Ed Balls and Ed Miliband. That makes 3 Eds. And we're called the 3 Ed Migos. Hey! Goodbye! Oh! Always losing things. When you want to stop it, you can't stop it. When you don't want it to stop, it stops on its own. I'll have to use this mouse. They don't like me at all, these mouses don't.